For those of you that didn't get to come last month, I did record it, and I think you got it in your newsletter. So if you got a chance to read, listen to that, fantastic. But I'm going to give you a quick summary. What we talked about was just wellness. We kind of just covered the basics, what I was going to be covering from here on out, and we talked about how all of these things fit together, how your health and how your health fits into wellness, how your spiritual life fits into wellness, mental, all of it, how all of it is encompassed. And today what we're going to talk about is vision. And your vision is going to kind of dictate the pace of everything else. So that's why it's going to be very important for us to cover this topic today in the very beginning, because without this, you're kind of not going to know how all these pieces should fit in your life. It's going to fit differently for everybody. So this is going to help you get your mission, kind of find your mission, and kind of develop a mission statement. So at the end, we're going to do some exercises, and we're going to find some tools that are going to help you to write your own personal mission statement. Okay. So vision. What is your life's plan? Okay, that's basically what your vision is how do you see yourself? And you almost want to think of it as looking back after you're in your 80s or you're older and thinking of how you are and how you got here and how do people that you care about perceive you and what you've done. Your vision is what gives you fulfillment. Why is having a vision important? So these are all things we're going to cover. It establishes your why. It determines your priorities, and it enables you to know what to focus on and allows you to set goals. Okay. When I talk about priorities, I'm not talking about, like your schedule, your work schedule, your to-do list. I'm talking about priorities, meaning things that matter to you, and you scheduling those things and understanding what those priorities are for you. A lot of people don't really understand what those are into getting to their vision because they don't have a vision. That's really the big thing. So you kind of are just doing things. So this is going to establish your path and your focus so that you understand where you're going. Okay? And how do you stay focused? That's the last thing we're going to cover. Okay? So let's get into this passion and vision. All right, now vision dictates your decisions. This is an interesting quote that I found from Stephen Covey. It says, "It's easy to say no when there's a deeper yes burning inside." Okay. Exercise integrity in the moment of choice. This is something that, and that statement kind of standing alone doesn't mean anything, but what that's really saying, all right, in life you have the see, do, get cycle. You see something, and you see it from your paradigm or from your position and what you feel, whether it's important, whether it's not important, whether it's urgent, or whether it's not urgent. Okay? And you see it from that point of view. Okay? And you make a decision to do something based on what you see. And from that, you get a result. Okay? So either you choose to do nothing or you choose to react a certain way, and it's going to cause a result to occur. All right? So it's easy when you have a vision to understand what you say no to and what you should say yes to, because you know where you're going. And if that particular thing is not going to drive you any closer to where you're going to go, then you probably shouldn't do it. It makes it easier to say no to that brownie if you have a clear vision and clear objective of, well, this isn't where, that's not going to get me anywhere closer to my goal. Whether that's a weight goal or whether it should be bigger than yourself, because we're going to talk about how those goals sometimes can lead us to disappointment. But once you have that clear picture, it enables you to very easily decipher, hey, this isn't really that important to me. It's really unimportant. What my vision is very important, and that's urgent to me. Okay, vision gives us the capacity to live out of our imaginations rather than our memories. Okay, I get a lot of people that come to me and they say, things that's failed for them in the past, things that they tried and that they couldn't do, and how, all these things that have happened kind of make up who they are and kind of create their decision-making ability. But when you have a vision, it kind of allows you to delete all those things that happened in the past, okay? Because you can almost say, all right, those things, yeah, they happened, and hopefully I gained some knowledge from them, but they don't necessarily make up who I am or where I'm going, okay? Because back then, maybe I couldn't stay on a weight loss program because I had no idea why I was on it to start with. I had no idea what my true vision, what my true inspiration was to be on it. So now, if you have a dream, if you have that imagination, if you see where you're going to go, now you can have that focus and that target, and you can say, now I understand, and now you can live through that as opposed to living on the past and living on your memories. Okay. Personal mission. Now, here's another quote from Viktor Frankl. We don't invent our mission, we detect it. It's within us, waiting to be realized. Okay. This is what separates humans from just another animal. You know, just another animal, they rely on instinct to do whatever they do. Okay? They don't have an ultimate goal in life. They just react to whatever happens. We, on the other hand, have something that's inside us that causes us to or if we find it, that's the detected part. If we find it, that's going to drive us to react and to act certain ways and to make certain decisions in that see-do cycle. Okay, the mission is the blueprint to your vision. So, without the mission, your vision is just a fantasy. Okay, so you don't want to just be fantasizing. You can. It's fine to have a dream. Everybody should dream. But if you don't have a way to implement and to execute and to get to that dream, then you're wasting your time. Then yeah, you are just daydreaming and fantasizing. But we always want to be able to make progress, and that's what this mission is going to do. Being able to find that mission is going to get you closer to that dream.
Thank you.
Okay. 8 pieces of a mission statement. All right, so these are kind of some of the things when you're starting to write your mission statements, these are the things that we're going to want to keep in mind and we're going to want to cover. All right, so your mission statement should represent the deepest and the best within you. Okay, your mission statement should be an expression of your unique capacity to contribute. Remember, everybody's unique. Everybody's got something different, and that's what that mission is. That's inside of you is your ability to contribute, and it's not. And remember, and I'm going to go to a point that's next. It's outside of you. When you contribute, that means you're doing something for somebody else or society or whoever you're doing it for. So think of things in terms of everybody else. Think of yourself as that 80-year-old person that's looking back and saying, "What did I do for everybody? What was the print that I left on this earth?" Based on principles of contribution and purpose higher than self. Okay? So again, it's about being more than just something to yourself. It's about what are you being to other people? How are you helping them fulfill their dreams? How are you helping them find their vision? Is their vision within yours? You know? Is their mission accomplished through your vision? Maybe it is. I don't know. But that's something, if your vision's big enough, it's going to incorporate other people. It's going to bring other people, and it's going to uplift other people. So that's how you want to kind of look at this. Now, there's some pieces to this that I really want to get into. When we talk about principles, I think that, well, I'll ask you, what do you think a principle is? Like when I say based on principles of contribution and purpose, higher than self. What is a principle?
A key factor.
Okay, give me an example of a key factor. Like like when you say like a key factor of the contribution and purpose higher than self. What is one of the key factors that you can think of that your mission should be based in?
I mean, I think you just talked about it, unless I'm lost. You were saying, you have to help other people with their visions, and it helps you to kind of see to your own visions.
Mm-hmm. And that's kind of a broader sense of it, yes. What I'm looking for principles are like humility, integrity, you know. Others are courage, reciprocity. Um, what you're going to find is that if you're not rooted in the right principles, your values are not going to make your role, because you have principles, values, and then your roles are going to sprout from your values. Okay, so if your principles aren't together, or they're not where they should be, then when you go to execute your roles as a father, as a husband, you know, they're not going to come across the right way, because you're not going to be able to express your values the right way, because your values are going to be jaded. They're going to be pointing in the wrong direction, and you're never going to get to what your ultimate vision is, okay, because they're not going to align. All right, so the major principle, one principles that I really want to touch on is humility. And this is one that I wrestled with a little bit, and I really didn't want to get into it, but it's so important that I feel like I have to. I think that people misunderstand what humility is and being humble. I think people think that it's if somebody tells you, "Oh, you made a great dinner," and you say, "Oh, it was nothing," that's humility. Well, that's being modest, okay? But humility is understanding that in the scheme, we have no strength. We have no power, okay? Our Creator is what gives us all our power. And that is what humility is. Because without Him, everybody's equal. Everybody's the same. Nobody is any different until you add the Creator, and that's the strength and that's the power that you have to do anything. So that's, once you recognize that you don't really have any control, you're not doing anything. It's the person, it's the Creator that's allowing you to use His strength to do something. Now that's where all things are kind of rooted from. That's where everything sprouts from. Is understanding that principle and humility. Okay? Principle drives the consequence of behavior. Okay, so if you think of that in terms of being a good person versus being a bad person, if you value wealth, that's fine. That's fine. But your principles are going to drive how you get there. Okay, that's going to determine your behavior and how you achieve wealth. There's many people that are crooked and that are wealthy, and there's many great people that are really good people that are wealthy because their principles are grounded in different things. Okay, so there's a lot of that's why the principles have to be intact for you to be able to live a balanced life and to be well. Those people that are crooked, that are wealthy, that have that one thing, all the other things in their life is probably falling apart because they don't have the right values, they don't have the right principles. Their tree is crooked. It's like this, as opposed to going straight up and having all their roles be where they should be. Okay. Your mission statement should include fulfillment in physical, social, mental, and spiritual dimensions. It deals with both vision and principle-based values.
Can you say that one more time?
Yes, please.
Which one? I'm gonna.
Fulfillment.
You guys don't have to worry about these notes.
Okay,
I'm gonna give you all this.
Okay.
Okay.
You can add to it if you
I was
want.
gonna ask you, and I didn't want it if you were taping. I didn't
Oh
want
yeah, I
was
tape it all, and then I'm gonna post it all too. So you'll have it. What I'm gonna have you write down are the exercises.
Okay.
Okay, so you don't have to write all this stuff down. You can just listen. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it just makes it easier just for you guys to just absorb. And then if you want to go back and listen and look at what's there, it'll be there for you.
I like your principles.
I want to make it easy for you to learn, all right? So we're going to deal with both vision and principle-based values. All right, so what that means is, and you're going to see, and I don't want to give it away, but one of your exercises is going to tell you whether all right, so imagine a tree. Okay, the top of the tree are your roles. The bottom of the tree is your foundation, that's the roots, that's your principles. From the principles sprout your values. Okay, from your roles, there's values. You want to see if those match. All right, so if they don't, you probably need to make some adjustments in your principles, or maybe what you're valuing isn't really what you value. Like if you're looking at your dream and saying, "Oh, I really want to be Indiana Jones," but it's like you don't value crawling around in caves, you don't like spider webs, then maybe that's really not what you want to be. So you need to understand that about yourself. All right, so this is going to tell you a lot about yourself and where you really want to go. Okay, so significant roles, responsibility represents lifetime balance of personal, family, work, community, and whatever roles you feel are yours to fill. Okay, it should be written to inspire you. Your mission statement is not supposed to be something that you post for everybody to read. It's not for somebody to say, "Oh man, you're so smart." This should be something that when you read it, it's like you hear the Rocky theme song. It should be like it energizes you, it gets you refocused, it makes you feel like I'm ready to go to work because I understand what my path is. And it helps you to stay focused. Okay? It gives you a target. I'll give you a great example of being able to stay focused. And I was trying to teach my daughter how to ride a bike. Okay? There's a lot of hills in Pittsburgh, so I had to take her to a park where they had a basketball court. I took her to Monroeville Park. It's a flat basketball court. It was like 2 courts that were together, so I had plenty of space. There were, 4 hoops on each side. So I was like, all right, I want you to get in here. I want you to pedal, but don't hit those poles. Should have never said don't hit the poles, because what I didn't do, I never gave her anything to focus on. I gave her what not to do, and that's all she focused on. So, sure enough, all she did was drift straight to the poles every time. It was like clockwork. She would get started, and I'd see her out the side of her eye, like, looking at the pole, and that's where her bike went, right to the pole. So, what I did, I put some cones out. I was like, all right, go to that cone. She'd get to that cone within plus or minus a foot. Never again saw the poles. So that's what your mission statement does. It gives you something to focus on so you don't see the poles anymore. You see what you want to see, and that's where you're going. Okay? So that's why staying focused is so important, and reading his mission statement 2, 3, 4 times a day, whatever it takes, until you have not just memorized it, but it's in your heart, and you understand it, and you feel it. It's what you need to do. You need to have it in front of you. Okay? All right. Timed exercises. Okay, so now you get your pencil and paper ready. So we're going to take a minute, and I want you to think about if you had unlimited time and resources, what would you do? Okay, your dreams. Okay, your dreams. I'm not talking about I would take a nap and then I would get. No, I'm not talking about that. I want some.
Today, huh?
I want some depth here. Okay, and
you want us to do this in a minute?
You got 1 minute. Ready? Go.
It's hard already.
I don't either. So we're in bad shape, as you can see.
Okay.
I'm not gonna write this.
Eat almonds and practice yoga. If I could do yoga every day.
I know. It is hard. Okay, go ahead and start finishing up. All right. Okay, the next one. 1 minute. Okay. I want you to write down your values. An example of some values, just to kind of stir it up. Peace of mind, security, wealth, good health, close relationships with whoever's important to you, free time, happiness, etc. Okay? I want you to get several. All right? Go.
You remember just writing like crazy. I'm going, geez, I wish I had that much in my
Well,
head.
I still have more than half my life left.
Yeah,
I know I have a lot of things to look forward to.
Rose, we're older.
I know. I know. I'm sitting here going, I don't even know why.
This is my future we're talking about. I'm pretty excited about it, Rose. I don't know about you.
I guess I can say half my life is already gone. So it's like now trying to think, okay, what do I want to do with the last half?
Oh, hell, I just got started. You can too. I allow you.
Can we cheat?
All right, you guys about got it?
Yeah, right.
Sure. All right, so now take 1 minute, and hopefully you have more than 5. Identify your top 5 values on your list. Prioritize the top 5. Then I guess those are. That's it.
So just put them in order then?
They don't necessarily have to be 1 through 5. Just the top 5 of them.
You probably put them in order as I already did. Are you Googling this meeting?
I wish I could.
You guys about there?
This is going to take more than a minute for me to be these things.
This is not an easy thing.
No,
You
it's
don't
not.
think about
No,
this
it's
kind of
not.
stuff.
Well,
Not at all.
especially like as you get older, you really don't think about it because you kind of already started to go in a direction that you're going, and it's hard to take that step back and really focus on what you should have focused on.
I agree. But it's never too late.
No,
You know.
but I'm just telling you, it's going to
I
take
know.
more than a minute.
And that's fine. Okay, so now 3 minutes.
Oh, okay. See, up to
3 minutes. All right. So now what I want you to do is compare your list of 5 values to your dreams. Okay. Now remember the Indiana Jones thing that I gave you. Example. If you find that it doesn't make sense, then maybe you need to hone one of the 2. So work on it. All right. So figure out if your dream is really what you dream, is really truly what you value. All right. So let's work on them until they match. 3 minutes and go.
Well, should just do that.
Yeah,
I mean,
pretty much all go hand in hand.
If they match, then you don't have much work to do.
All right.
I think that's what I did on the last step. They were like the large, like faith, love, roll, live, healthy. But why is that number 5? I'm sitting here. How's that number 5? Well, faith's always going to be first. Love has to be second.
Oh, I didn't put mine in order. I just put
It doesn't matter the order.
Yeah.
I
Doesn't
think
matter
your
the
role
order.
model, that's really important to everybody around you. I don't know. I guess I could switch these.
I didn't have too many of the visions. I gotta get my visions. So that's gonna be something I'm gonna have to work on till
Go.
next time I see you.
Go work on it. I mean, that's what we got. You got this time. Go ahead and do it.
Well, you could spend a little more time with the Bible. That way God gives you some more of your visions.
Yeah.
I have that as one of my exercises, reading the Bible. I have it somewhere.
That's true.
Your grandchildren.
mean,
I'm in the same boat you said, mine was all that.
I mean, this part here, I guess, security, relationship with family.
Yeah, it's something.
All right, you guys about there?
No. I'm telling you,
homework.
yeah, it is homework, cause, especially today, cause I'm not thinking, my eyes are hurting.
Okay, so now, this part, I want you to take 1 minute, look at your values as they relate to the 4 fundamental areas of fulfillment. Okay, that's, do they reflect physical, social, mental, and spiritual needs? All right, so understand if they do.
Physical,
Physical, social, mental, and spiritual needs.
yeah, am I already done with this too? No wonder I was writing so fast, I was trying to keep up with the next steps we were about to do.
I never really thought about how lost I am.
Yeah, well, that's exactly it. Well, and that's what I'm
Makes you
telling
think
So
deeper.
it-
That's what
yeah,
that's what I
mean,
want to do. Is it's not to put anyone on the spot. It's just to make you think a little deeper about yourself.
Not right or wrong.
No, it's never right or wrong. You know?
Well, me, what costume did you decide on?
Batman. My friend's gonna be, Robin, the Batman and Robin.
You guys done? Okay, last thing. This is probably one of the biggest. Is what principles will produce the values on your list? Okay? Now, when you decide your principles, this is going to tell you what you really need to work on within yourself. All right? If it's, say it's relationships, okay?